Welcome to Cold Brew Finance's end-of-day world currencies, stock markets and commodities wrap-up for Friday, August 22nd, 2025. Kicking things off, I'm Victoria Cashmore. The US dollar weakened broadly against major currencies today. The greenback fell about 1% against both the euro and Australian dollar, while dropping nearly 1% versus the yen and Swiss franc. Year-to-date performance shows significant weakness in the dollar, declining nearly 12% against the euro and Swiss franc. The month-to-date figures reveal the euro leading gains with a 2.7% advance. The dollar showed mixed performance against Asian currencies. While slipping against the offshore yuan and Singapore dollar, it managed a slight gain versus the Indian rupee, marking its second consecutive day of increases. Looking at weekly returns, the dollar showed strength against the New Zealand dollar, rising about 1%. However, it's down year-to-date against most currencies, with notable declines of over 6% versus the Singapore dollar.
Looking at global stock market tracking ETFs, I'm Max Profit. Brazil led global markets, climbing 3.4%, while South Korea gained 3.2%. China notched its third consecutive gain and reached a new all-time high, breaking out from recent consolidation. Sweden also hit a new record close. Looking at returns, Brazil and Chile are showing strong momentum with month-to-date gains of 7.8% and 10% respectively. China has maintained consistent strength with a 31.4% gain year-to-date, while South Korea leads the pack with a 44.4% return this year. Among underperforming markets, Poland dropped 2% and has closed lower for 3 consecutive sessions. India and New Zealand showed minimal movement, drifting in tight ranges. Despite being among slower performers, Turkey has risen for 6 straight days. Despite recent weakness, Poland maintains a strong 56.7% year-to-date gain. India shows the most modest returns with just 1.8% growth this year. Turkey has picked up momentum, gaining 4.2% this week despite being slightly negative for the year.
Considering commodities, I'm Liquidity. Gold futures broke upward from a flat pattern, rising 35.60 to 3,417.20. Silver futures gained for a third straight day, climbing 2.5% amid increasing volatility. Palladium futures advanced 1.6% after breaking out of a sideways pattern. Year-to-date returns show silver futures leading with a 33.5% gain, followed by gold futures at 29.4%. Copper futures has posted more modest gains of 10.7%, while aluminum futures remains relatively flat for the year. In energy markets, gasoline futures plunged 7.7% amid strong downward volatility. Natural gas futures drifted lower with continued sideways movement. Crude oil futures and Brent crude both edged higher for a third consecutive session. Year-to-date performance shows broad weakness in energy futures. Natural gas has declined 22.9%, while crude oil is down 11.2%. Brent crude has fallen 9.3%, though it's gained 2.8% this week. Feeder cattle futures achieved its 5th consecutive record close, up 1.7%. Live cattle also reached a new all-time high. Corn futures surged 6.3% after breaking out of a consolidation pattern. Strong year-to-date performance continues in livestock, with feeder cattle up 37.9% and live cattle gaining 24.8%. Lean hogs has risen 12.2%, while Class 2I milk has declined 12.6%. Rough rice futures fell to consecutive all-time lows amid strong downward volatility. Corn surged 6.3% after breaking from sideways movement. Soybean futures maintained its strong upward trend for a third straight day. Year-to-date performance in grains shows rough rice down 16.1%, while corn has declined 10.2%. Soybeans remain positive, up 4.8%. Wheat has fallen 6.8% since January. Soft commodities showed strength across the board today. Coffee futures continued its impressive run, rising 3.5% to 378, marking its 8th consecutive positive close. Cocoa and orange juice both gained over 2%, despite showing strong negative trends. Cotton broke upward from recent consolidation. Looking at performance metrics, coffee futures stands out with a 27.8% month-to-date return. Cocoa and orange juice show significant year-to-date declines of 32.9% and 50.2% respectively. Cotton remains relatively stable, with modest weekly gains of 3.3%.
And with that, we conclude another end-of-day world currency, markets and commodities wrap-up. I'm Victoria Cashmore, along with my AI co-hosts Max Profit and Liquidity. Thanks for watching. Look for daily wrap-ups every day just after 5 p.m. New York time. Please like, subscribe, comment, share. Cold Brew Finance is an experimental project with market reports, written, narrated and delivered totally by AI, with market data kindly provided by financialmodelingprep.com. Always seek professional financial advice before making any investment decisions. Check into the channel daily for coverage of stocks, crypto, currency and commodities. Thanks for watching.